Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Dan Wangler. Say hi to Dan. Uh-oh. There's actually applause. Dan, thank you, son. Dan has been a major part of camp for years. We wanted to talk a little bit with him today just about what he's seen over the years. You just graduated from college, and tell us what you're going to be doing this fall.
So I just graduated from UCM with my bachelor's in secondary education, and I got a job at Oakville High School teaching biology and physical science, and then also coaching their men and women soccer team.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Now, Dan, I've only known Dan since he was in preschool. So we're still getting to know each other. He and Jonathan were in preschool together down the road at Southminster Presbyterian Church, and we're eternally grateful, right? And but Dan, you've been in part of camp as a camper, a teen leader, an intern, a volunteer. Now you're part of like the administrative team, part of the big team. Going all the way back, like a number of years ago, I remember you saying to me one time, you said, man, like practically everything good in my life stems from Kids of Victory. What does that mean?
Yeah, my first year was 2007. Some of you might remember the Seams family, and Josh was actually in my second grade class, and he invited me to this camp, and ever since that summer, life just changed completely. You know, everything that I see around me today, like my best friends, like John and Adam Dalton and Andrew Shukart and all the guys that I hang out with are from this camp, and just like everything that I see around me, like where my passion is, where my faith has grown from, and where it is now, it's just all from Kids of Victory, and just can't get enough of it. It's awesome.
It's awesome. And then we were talking the other day, and you were talking about, we've had how can I say this, a transformative kind of season. This last week of our teen leaders, 35 of them were seniors in high school. So we're launching them into college, right? And a whole bunch of them are obviously kids that have been around a long time, some of them only just the last couple of years. But that particular senior class and some of those young men in particular are guys that you, a number of years ago, took an interest in. And so it's been kind of an emotional transitional summer, isn't it?
Yeah. When I was I think I said I graduated from UCM a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah,
I totally didn't. Yeah, I graduated from UMSL. And I went to UCM my sophomore year is where I'm getting that mixed up. But I remember being at UCM 3 years ago or 2 years ago and getting involved with ZAP up here and wanting to be a part of both. Like I needed to go to school, obviously, but I also wanted to connect with these youth here and start to lead them. So what I did is I started driving home every other weekend, the 3.5 hours it is, just to hang out with them and like be with them. And I remember like I see Luke and Alex Bruns and like Will Shukart and Hanley Hicks like being the main guys this week. And I just remember, 3 years ago we were wrestling in my basement, just being goofballs. So it's bittersweet seeing this week because they're in their element. They're going Flagnum, which is, I'm forgetting the abbreviation.
I don't know what it means either.
Tony knows it.
Tony, what's it mean, Tony?
Fired up and going nuts every minute.
There you go.
That's what it is. So they're going Flagnum, if I can use it in that sentence. But then it's also the bitter part, seeing them leave, and it is their last week. But
when we look back at camp and you watch the little ones and teens and so forth, what kind of impact do you think it actually has on people's lives?
I think the biggest impact that I see every summer is the teen leaders. I see some of them year-round through ZAP and then just hanging out. But when they get into this environment every week, there's just more smiles on their face. There's more happiness. You can tangibly see it like pouring out of them. And it's just this month, but usually 3 weeks of the year, they're just a different person. It's literally like they're going all year just waiting to get this taste of Kids of Victory. Then it's there, and it's just overjoying them. And the great thing that comes from that is they make the connection that this is the place where they feel extremely happy. This is the place where they feel all this joy, and this is also the place where they can experience God. And at the end of the day, you just hope that they connect those, that this exciting fun, this insane amount of joy that we've made Kids of Victory is all because of faith in God and everything that he's done for the camp.
We ended camp Friday, and then Saturday morning, probably 15 or 20 of our teen leaders immediately got on a bus Saturday morning to go do a missions trip someplace else through another church. I mean, like, they're insane, right? And one of them texted me late last night and just said, hey, the whole time we're going to be wherever it is, I think they're in like North Dakota or somewhere. It's like an Indian reservation. They said, we're going to be praying for camp. We're committed to you guys. We want it to be great. And a lot of them then will be back with us the third week of camp. I mean, it's colossal, the kids that we get to meet and get to be a part of. Dan, what's it like for you as a young man to stand up here and you've got the 200 grade school kids, 250 grade school kids, 150 teenagers, and you're up there preaching to them on a Wednesday or Thursday morning or something?
Yeah, it's a little intimidating at first, but then you realize that it doesn't matter what you say, but if you say it really loudly, they'll cheer and be happy back. So that's comforting in a way. But what I think about and what impacts me the most is that for years I've been praying to God, please use me to give your scripture to the young ones, utilize me for youth ministry, give me these opportunities. And then every day when I step off the stage, you just kind of turn around and look back and it's, this is prayers being answered. This is God being faithful to prayer and everything.
So Friday is all week long. We're preaching the gospel to them. This week, this year, our theme is, it's up here somewhere, Agents of the King. Is that up here somewhere? Oh, A-okay. Yeah. And so all week long, we're preaching the gospel to them, and they experience Elijah and Jezebel, and how we snuck Jezebel in there, I don't really know. But John the Baptist and Jesus makes an appearance, and there's somebody I'm missing. Peter, thank you. And they all have a time of sharing and so forth. And so all week long, we're talking to them about the redemptive work of God, of the Lord in our lives. And then on Friday morning, we always give them an opportunity to actually make a decision. And so on Friday, we talk to them about actually making the transition to just being who they are, to becoming agents of the King. And so we try to explain the gospel the best way we can in a way that communicates to 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, et cetera. And Friday, when we made that invitation, something like, 75 or 100 of them raised their hand and said, yeah, I want to become an agent of the King. I want to make that decision to follow Christ. And a number of parents have even already approached us and said, man, my kid was one of those kids, and our lives as a family are totally different. And launching off from this place. And so the things that Dan and all the other volunteers and leaders and our core group members and all those people that you should see as we play these daily videos, the kids, they get to see and behold the things that God's up to and the teaching that goes on and the nutty games that Tony creates for them to play. All of the ingredients that allow them to actually hear the gospel in a way that they can understand it. In the craft room where they're making decoder rings to decode some Christian message, it's just from everything we do, we're trying to be super intentional so that they can hear the gospel in a language that they understand. Does that make sense? We want them to understand the gospel. And so, Dan, we've watched some of these kids come out of dead end, nowhere, not walking with God at all, to being like fervent believers now.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much. That was a real big lead-in right there for you to do something. You were going to give us a great story there. Any last thing you want to share?
Maybe a little something. I kind of said this. Every Friday we have an opportunity for the leaders to get on an open mic and just say maybe something that they saw this week or somebody in particular that they thought did above and beyond what was expected of them. And this Friday I said a little bit about it, but I just figured I'd say it up here too. But Harry and Tony have been pouring their hearts and their spirits into this camp and everything that it stands for. And for them to, Harry said he's known me since I was preschool, and since I was in preschool to now, I've definitely made a lot of mistakes, going through school and everything. And for him to have seen me that whole entire time, and for Tony to be around and still give me an this opportunity and just like put their trust in me and just continue to like welcome me into this environment. Like I'm truly unbelievably thank you. So like thank you, Harry and Tony, for giving me the chance to come out here and lead with you guys.
Very kind. Very kind. That's Dan Wangler.